Oh, hey.
Round 15.
15. Jeez, we got to stop.
Pressure's on to make this one half decent.
Let's come up with a better numbering system.
Yeah, well, someone suggested one, but I didn't really love that idea
Well,
either.
okay, let's get some more suggestions then.
Yeah.
We could use some more help with this.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
seemed even worse to me. So
Okay, so we got some tattoos to check out here. First, which is...
it's a nice trash polka piece.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's interesting.
Yep.
Not sure what this is. I'm thinking it's something I'm supposed to, like it's pop culture reference or something, some movie or something. Do you have any idea what this is?
I have little to no idea what this is.
But you could agree with me that this must be something.
It seems like it should be from something.
Because it's too much. Does it say, do it, bitch? Is that what does it say there?
That's what I'm reading.
I don't see the T, but...
But there's also a word in there.
Yeah. Butter? Stuffer.
Stutter?
Stutter. Yeah.
Stutter.
So...
Okay.
Whatever this is a reference to is lost on me, but I do love trash polka.
But it doesn't say do I?
Do I stutter, bitch?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would think it would be did I stutter, bitch? But
Well, no, in this respect, it's do I.
yeah, so I do love trash polka.
Yeah, me too.
I've said before, I think on the podcast, that if I didn't get any tattoos and I had have known about trash polka, I might have started out that way. Cause
Yeah. It is kind of your vibe.
a lot of my work was black and red.
Yeah.
And that's what trash polka is mainly consisting of. And high contrast quite often, too.
Rick's just started another trash polka piece.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a trash polka sleeve of like war stuff, like tanks and a bunch
Neat.
of script. And
That's
it's
an
pretty
interesting
sweet.
thing about trash polka is that there's a lot of different subject matter that you can use.
Totally.
Right? And it's just always expanding, seemingly.
Mm-hmm.
But this one kind of misses the mark for me a little bit, just in it doesn't space out enough. Like it's just very congested.
Yeah, it is trying to put everything into one space kind of thing.
Where trash polka is usually a big display over a big area.
I wonder if this is a part of like a trash polka e-sleeve.
If they open this up to the whole leg, I think some of that can be forgiven.
Oh, yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? But right now it's too small scale. Because if I'm doing a trash polka piece, I almost need that whole leg.
Yeah.
In order to make the whole scene.
Part of the thing with trash polka is that big negative space chunks, right?
Yep. That's
Which,
exactly
interestingly
it.
enough, you would hate.
I know.
You would really hate that.
I would have to figure out a way to do something about that.
Light gray. Just pack in light gray where it was negative space. That would do it.
Because, yeah, I would want the full coverage.
Yep.
Because even the parts of my eye that weren't black before we blacked them out, those were white.
Oh,
To
yeah.
pop
I know.
contrast.
Yep.
Because like people would maybe assume that was negative space, but there was no negative space there. There's nothing negative on me. It's either white ink or black ink or something else.
Face and palms. That's
yeah,
about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that again, please.
I will not. No problem. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm stoked to see if it goes somewhere.
It's a cool little tattoo. I'd like to see if this one gets some more work on it.
Hell yeah.
Because, big work for trash polka.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
I think that's always better. Mm-hmm. All right, next up.
We were just talking about this a second ago, weren't we?
I mean, a little
that'd
bit.
be a real problem for you. Because
Yep.
this is a finished concept, I imagine.
Oh, I would assume so.
It has a flow. It makes sense to me. My problem is, again, there's just not enough done, right?
This is the thing of like, this is what I consider high art, right?
Yeah, it is. This isn't poorly done. There's
No,
nothing
it's
wrong with this.
Well executed.
It's just, for me, it's irritating because I want to do more with it.
And I would always want to know the process. Like, what about this is like directed this? You know what I mean? Because I know that there's always going to be an artistic vision.
Yeah, this
So-
is in a very abstract style.
Yeah.
And I'm almost guaranteeing you that whatever artist did this, if not this guy might be parroting the guy who does this all the time. I wouldn't be able to tell you to look at it, but
Yeah.
there's some artists
'Cause it is
that
well done.
everyone comes to for this style, I bet you.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Like I bet you there's a guy who's just doing this nonstop all week, all month, whatever.
Another interesting choice. I see the right arm there,
Yeah, blacked out.
blacked out to the bicep.
Yeah.
I never understood that.
It might be a work in progress. Still looks a little young. Like the blackout looks a little young to me.
Fair.
Like it doesn't look like a fully settled black arm yet.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, it might be, but it looks to me like this thing's still going to settle a little. So they might be going farther with that. And I would assume they might end up doing that with the other arm, too, by the look of the tattoos. No
that's fair.
diss if they're keeping them, but those look like tattoos that would be blacked out.
Yep.
Um,
We've done that.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah. No hate on tattoos, but
No, of
yeah, I
course
could
not.
see them blacking that out.
Yeah, even just with the aesthetic element of it. That's mainly what my eye
Yep,
gets
it
drawn
will
to.
go better with the
Yeah.
torso if they black the rest of the arms out,
Yeah.
and then they just leave the negative of the torso as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do like this style a little bit. It's just not going to be one for me.
Yeah, it's so interesting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's intriguing. I want to know more about it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily want to go get this, but I like the idea of it.
It's also an interesting contrast. I'll bring up the black arm one more time here because you've got such solid black arms, and then you've got such spatial
Yeah.
torso work.
Yeah.
It's just such an interesting contrast.
Yeah, really is.
It's if they black the rest of the arms out, both of them, it looks very intentional.
Oh, very much so.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it becomes then this was
Yeah.
the choice all along. To me,
I would-
anyway.
if this is you, things I would love to know would be plans with the arms,
Mm-hmm.
and then what was the inspiration?
Yeah, good questions.
Yeah,
I'd be
because
interested
I
too.
dig it, but I would want to know more about it.
Yep.
All right, next up,
An arm full of
spooky
creepy
hand.
stuff.
Oh,
yeah. I like this quite a bit,
Yeah,
but
me too.
again, it's going to be the same problem of something like what's happening with Sarah's arm,
Mm-hmm.
where it's just sticker, and then you're going to have to do dots or whatever in between all of that, or leave a line in black. I
Mm-hmm.
guess. I just have a hard time connecting all of it, but the actual tattoo is pretty cool. The fingers are a little, might be because of the angle, but they look a little warped. Like I don't imagine a finger looking that big next to that one that looks like a little nail.
I
Like the
getcha.
whole finger looks very small in comparison to that large one that
Mm-hmm.
you're getting. It might be the angle of the picture though.
Man, you know, another hard thing about doing a hand like this, just in general, is that if you're incorporating line work like this, all of a sudden when that line settles, it changes kind of the width of everything.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, in relation to the way that it would have been put in initially, when it fully settles out, it's got this kind of like mass that the line
There's
creates.
some interesting choices made here in the like not all of this hits you all at once.
Yeah.
But like the thumb is very, very light.
Mm-hmm.
I don't particularly love that.
I mean, I will say, if we're trying to maintain light source, that technically works.
Fair, but it's so different than that finger.
Yeah.
Again, like what I would say is just a little bit of dotting
Yep.
in there.
I would agree with
Just
you.
don't cut it off completely.
Yep, just give
Dot-
it some light,
just so that it's in
life to it.
keeping with the rest of the piece.
Mhm.
That's all. And you can still do that.
Yep.
It just looks like such a departure. It looks like one of the nails more than one of the fingers.
Yeah, I get you.
And it's the only part of the piece that has no dots at all.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little more dotting. And then the other problem I have with this is the bottom of the hand looks a little like a ball sack. Right? That hard line. It looks either like a ball sack to me when I'm looking close at it, or like a piece of chicken or something.
Yeah.
You know you see what I mean? Where it's
Yeah.
why does it have to slope so hard
The
there?
aggressive slope there.
It's just so aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only part of this tattoo that I really see aggression in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the lined fingers don't seem to have that aggression to me.
Yeah, I get you.
I don't know if it's because the palm is supposed to be a soft surface that I feel that way.
Mm.
But it has a weird framing effect.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I would say lends it to it in a little bit is that it's zombified.
Yeah.
So I can understand it kind of being sunken in more.
I don't want it to feel like I'm hating on this tattoo.
No.
I'm just trying to give it a fair shake.
I'm just trying to say, because there's like something about it that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I totally understand what you're saying, but there is something about the visual of the way this is sunken in there that makes sense to me with the way that it's broken off on the bottom of the arm.
I guess when you look at the bottom, it can make more sense.
Yeah, like if you're just looking at this,
Yeah.
like,
Just the hand
remove
without
that bottom broken arm off bit, then all of a sudden it starts to make less sense. But the hard contrast and the hard shadows that they put there, it only makes sense because of the bottom.
Well, I got to say, big points for the dot shading.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love dot shading
Yeah.
more and more all the time.
Yeah, and really well done. Like
Yeah.
when you hit dots, like I would
Great
love to know what
transition.
needle they used, because doing this stuff doesn't always leave you a well-defined dot.
Yeah, and
every
it
time
doesn't
like
always
that.
look this soft either, like the transition. It
Yep.
can look really hard if you don't know what you're doing.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dots are tricky.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, man. I mean, most
Overall,
things
I
are.
like
Like, most things done well are really quite tricky.
yeah, they look, if they're done well, they look like they were done easily.
Yes,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Effortlessly.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, just like blackouts. All right, on to the next.
Oh, this is going to be the favorite of the day for me, I'm sure.
Well, there might be more.
Yeah,
But let's
fair
see.
enough. Oh, so I love how they've included how old it is. 'Cause
Oh,
we
yeah.
so frequently ask.
Oh, yeah, which I
You're
love.
You're doing our homework for us now.
Yeah.
Um,
We can't speculate. We know.
These guys are really in love, aren't they? This cat and dog
I would
combo?
think so.
They're like,
Or
I guess they
they-
have to be best mates for life.
Yeah,
now.
or they just realize that this is what they're saddled with.
This is it. We may as well make the
Yeah.
best of
It
it.
just is what it is now.
There are some problems in the color in this.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't want to be too harsh because I love these little guys, but some of that orange is dropping out pretty bad. Need to patch that up. I think the purple could use another go too.
At the same time, like, I don't know. Like, these things always have character for those reasons. It's like, because it's not done perfect, I kind of like it more. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, because it does need touch-ups, because it's got that kind of, like, lived-in look.
We keep asking for like the backstory and the plan for some of these things.
Yeah.
I don't need to know the backstory or the
No,
plan
no.
for this.
This is
This
fairly
could be this
straightforward.
person's only tattoo, and
Yeah.
that would be enough for me.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. I don't need to know more. This
Yeah,
is the
this
whole
would be
story.
one of those, like, your aunt has this tattoo. And
Yeah,
they're
of
just
course
like,
she does.
Yeah, it's just like, I actually have a tattoo.
Yeah, I got a tattoo.
Yeah.
I got one for my cat and my dog.
Yeah, and they're
It's a
just our
conjoinal
best friend.
twin.
Or you like The Simpsons, because
Yeah.
they did that to their dog
Fair enough.
and cat. But yeah,
I don't
love
have
it.
too much more to say about
I
this
know, I
thing.
love it.
I love it. Yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about it.
Yep.
If you were trying to fix it, the orange needs to go again, but I mean, why bother?
I know, right? Or just do a really big version of this.
I think this is, there is one more thing to say about this is
Okay.
these kinds of tattoos, they're done in a different light than something like what we just
Yeah.
reviewed, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Like we really don't need to maintain this. I was being silly.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
this
you
is-
could maintain it, though, if you really want to keep her crisp.
This is eternal, though.
Yeah, oh, for sure. All right, last but not least.
This was done. How long ago would you say all this head work got
A
done?
while.
The ear piercings are really dated. This
That's
was
a
the
while
early
ago.
90s piercing.
Yeah.
Like, we don't see that ever anymore. So I would think that this tattoo is like early 90s as well.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
And it's under a different level of scrutiny than what I would give something that would be done
That's
like
the thing,
this
man.
today.
When you're in this type of era of tattooing, if I'm assuming that it's from that era, because again, it could have been done.
We're
3
going to
weeks
have
ago, and we
to
don't
double
know.
down and say this had to have been.
It
And if it
has to have
wasn't,
been. Yeah,
then
everything we're about to say is
Everything
in
I'm about to
relation
say,
to
yeah.
it being done a long time ago.
yeah, it feels more harsh than I want it to.
Yeah.
But I have to judge this as what would be available in the early 90s.
Man, yeah, like even just from a technological standpoint, the ability to do something like this was so much different.
And you've seen this guy walking around like 1994, and that's the biggest badass you'll ever see.
100%, yeah.
Like, you're never going to see that.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you it hurt more than it would now, too.
Of course it would.
Like it's a different thing to have head tattoos then because the ink was worse, and so were the needles.
And like the machines and everything was just, it was tough.
So,
Like, all
like,
of it was tough.
You go get your head tattooed today, it's like, oh yeah, that was kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Back then, it's like the mecca.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and that would have been a coil machine, and they would have had that thing humming to get that in like that.
But again, I mean, I don't want to put this with our hand tattoo reacts,
No,
but that one hand is,
it's pretty wild.
it looks like a wing.
Yeah.
The other one looks like it looks like you've peeled back like a banana or something.
Yep.
But then it's not a banana inside.
It's a hand.
It's
It's a handana.
fingers of
Yeah,
some kind.
There's some sort of finger.
I just have a hard time being rude to these though.
Yeah, I
because
know.
it looks so old.
Yeah. And I just understand what it would have been back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the whole thing, like the drawing and the stenciling and everything was a pain in the ass. Like everything
Well,
was tough to do back then.
I had someone DM me recently that you're so hard on the tattoos that are halfway good.
Yeah, of
and
course.
then you're so lenient on the bad ones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is exactly why.
Yeah.
Because this might have been a 10 one day.
Yeah.
Right? I can't even judge it because I need to time travel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if I were to go back to the 90s, maybe whatever else is out there looks so much worse than this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That it's not fair to throw shade at something that
Yeah,
might
who
have
knows?
been a 10 once.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, unfortunately, like when we're in as soon as you get past a certain level of tattooing, like we're in the industry that deals with high-end tattooing. So we're trying
And
to
we're
compare
looking
it to
at
the
these
best
all
of
the
the
time.
best, right? Like it's not like we're trying to be harsh on something just because. It's just like we understand what's possible. So if we're hard on it, it's just because we know where it could go.
Yeah, exactly. When you get to that point of like where you're at an 8 out of 10 level, that's where you're fair game for scrutiny.
100%. Yeah.
And I would think that as an artist, you would probably understand that too. That you're on
most do,
once
yeah.
you're a higher bar, you are looking at the little things, right? Where when you're a lower hanging fruit, then it's obvious that you're more forgivable.
Yeah.
I guess you're still learning, or it's very old.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if you're producing an 8, it's super hard to get it to an 8.5.
Yeah, exactly.
Like super hard.
Exactly. Once you get there, you're learning like second savers and like little tiny things that could have made things a little bit better.
Yep.
Right. Those are once you're at that 90% tier, getting up a percentage from there is you got to be doing everything.
Everything.
Right.
You got to be surrounded by the best.
Yeah.
Like it's almost impossible.
And we're getting sent some really good stuff sometimes too.
That's the other thing we do. We get stuff where it's like, again, like those. I always just think back to those Phil Garcia roses. I'm like, that to me is a celebrity of tattoo.
And I get to the point where I'm like, if I don't say something bad, it's gonna feel like I'm just sucking this guy off.
I know, right? Yeah, it's just like this is getting a little bit much.
So
but, yeah.
Yeah, I actually quite like this for what it is.
I know, me too.
Yeah, I have no problem with this, and I don't want to knock it.
Yeah.
It just feels like it was something from another time.
Yeah,
and the years really feel like that too.
Yeah,
so I can appreciate this quite a bit.
Yeah, it's got history to it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, at the same time, if you ever wanted to cover it, no problem.
Exactly. And you know what? I would love to hear this guy's story about how he got these done.
Well, it's like that guy that was getting his full hand done here, who had the first sleeves in Alberta, like back in the 60s or 70s, because the tattoos were illegal here.
That's a fascinating story.
Yeah, it was awesome. I got to hear all about it, and it was just like really cool.
That's one of those where you just, when an old man's talking, you just shut up and
listen, man.
Right, because you're gonna learn something.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this is what I think of that. It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
This type of tattoo is the shut up and listen.
Exactly.
This has some history.
Let me tell you something, son.
Oh yeah, you got that right. All right, keep on sending them.
Yes,
we
please.
enjoy this greatly.
Yes, more of these too. Please.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.